Good morning. Are you ready? Let's wait just a few seconds as usual. I'm awake, and I fell into bed before 11 p.m. last night. So anyways, welcome to Tipsy Tuesday with Jessica. I'm Jessica. I'm gonna see if one person's on. Woohoo! I'm famous. Let's see what it's showing in Facebook. I'm actually going to pull up my phone so I can keep an eye on the comments over there. I don't know. I'm trying. That way maybe I can actually respond to a few comments. I don't know which is more annoying. 2 whole people are watching. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Wait, I don't want sound. I'm going to see if one person's on. Okay, ooh. Oh, Lord. Video has no sound. That's what we want. No, but if I go back to... Alright, I'm still learning. That's all I can say. You know, it is what it is. Okay, so good morning. Hey, Laura. I see that comment. Apparently, if people are on YouTube, I get those comments in my little restream chat, but for whatever reason, it will not show me Facebook. It says read only, but then it, is dark as though it won't stream those into... Why do I have a double screen now? It's really annoying. So I'm trying to stay up on Facebook to see what people... Hi, Christy. I'm excited. I'm always excited to see you, Christy. Okay. So not that many people this morning, but that's okay. I was up to 9, but then 2 people left. Oh. All right, well, we'll get started. Today is April 16th. Hopefully, if you're in the States, you turned in your taxes yesterday. I don't know about you, but I got violated. It was lovely. I'm happy to pay those taxes. Yay. I'm happy. I'm mostly happy that my husband and I managed to turn them in on time this year. You know, sometimes I wish that our CPA would babysit us a little bit more. Not a lot, just a little bit more. So today we have a fair amount of stuff to talk about. I am going to tell you all about the Nora Bolero. Both the women's and the girls are available right now. We have special introductory pricing up through Easter, which is like a little gift from us to you. But this is Tasha's 3rd and 4th pattern. It is perfect to go over all of your sort of spring tanks. If you're in the mood and dying to wear a tank or, short sleeve or sleeveless or whatever, but it's not quite, warm enough where you are, this is the perfect addition. You can make it lined and so that it's reversible, super cute. Or you can make it unlined and that has a band and you can add sleeves to that keeps you a little bit warmer. That way it's more than just a fashion accessory. It actually can keep your kids from whining on Easter morning. Is that just me? I don't know. So other than that, like I said, we have the special introductory pricing of $3.96 for each, the women's and the girls, or you can get it bundled for $7.12. That pricing is going to go up come Easter, so grab it while you can. And everybody give Tasha a shout out for getting those patterns out, because I think I've said this before and I'm going to keep saying it. One thing that is not abundantly obvious when you're a user and not a producer is the number of hours. And this actually came up in the sale designer group the other day. They were asking about how many hours each pattern took. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so many of it for us that work from home, we're fitting in hours where we can, whether we have a baby or just young kids or whatever, we're fitting it around something else. And so it's not always super easy to get out quickly. I mean, I'm always in awe with companies who can get out there. I don't want to say churn, that has negative connotations, but really get out patterns on a regular, calendar. Every 2 weeks, they've got a new pattern. Hats off to you. My life is not that predictable, unfortunately. And so, last week, I was able to cook with grease. I was, getting all kinds of things done. I was so excited. So I went into testing this weekend and I felt really confident about where I was. For the first time, I'd done fabric requirements before testing started. I'd filled out all the charts and tables. My tutorial was a go. I think the links even worked. This week is not looking so optimistic. My husband left yesterday and he won't be home until Thursday. And then add to that, we have standardized testing for like 3 out of 6 kids. And then we also have an Easter party at the preschool. And then like no extended day for the older. I mean, it's just... So you can imagine why yesterday I decided to exercise for the first time in probably a year. And basically I can't move today. And I fell into bed, like no joke, fell into bed. It was insane last night. My kids were laughing at me. My 10-year-old was still awake, and I think she was kind of stressing about standardized testing, which we're totally like, this doesn't matter at all. But it was pretty entertaining. I love you, Mom. I just want you to know that. That popped up. Do you need... Oh, I didn't mean to pin that. Apparently I can pin comments now, but I can't see all the comments. Don't you love that? Anyway, I love Facebook. Every day it's something new. My favorite, I can see 4 out of 12 comments. Like, why are you messing with me? I've only had 1 cup of coffee, and it doesn't have sugar in it because I'm trying to reduce the amount of sugar in my life. Okay, just deep breathing. Okay, moving right along. If you haven't seen the cut files yet for spring, there's some really funny ones, and it's on my list this week. And so then I'm always questioning whether or not I want to make the shirt and add the cut file, or buy the cheap shirt and add the cut file. Sometimes I make the shirt and add the cut file, but sometimes I don't. A lot of times I don't, because if I'm at Target and, it's funny. Anyways, I'll focus for a minute. If I'm at Target and they're $3.96 or Walmart and they're ridiculously cheap, I'll be honest. My kids grow really fast and they'll stain it the first day, especially if they get chocolate or ice cream. I don't know what it is about those things. Anyway, I'll just buy a cheap t-shirt and put those cut files on there, and it's super fun. So, hey, I'm going to high five Jessica Perez, not just for your name, but also for started working out and can't move today. I did like this workout called Tabata. I'm not like workout savvy at all. I like to sit on my butt and eat chocolates. And I was supposed to do 4 circuits, and they warned me to like ease into it so I didn't overdo it. I did half the number of circuits I was supposed to do, and I felt like that clip in Bridget Jones where she gets off the bike and like falls over. That was me the rest of the day. And so you can imagine where I am today. Speaking of eating chocolates, you know how Dove puts these fantastic messages inside the chocolates? There was one in my gigantic bag of chocolates that said, "Hug the sunlight." Now, I know where Deb is going with this. I'm all about standing in the sunlight. I'll say it all the time. I like to stand in the light. My past life included working for the government, and anyway, I won't digress. But this is like the ultimate slam too. Like, hug the sunlight. I almost said it wrong. That kind of ruins my joke. But it just makes me laugh. So when I get these, it's like a double whammy, like, hug the sunlight. And then I would add some curse words to the end of that. But anyway, I'm going to pin this to my board because it just makes me laugh. Like, maybe I have a different sense of humor than the folks at Dove. But there you go. Hopefully somebody out there is with me. All right, so moving right along. Spring cut files, there's one that's like every bunny, it's a pun, we like puns here, was kung fu fighting. That's totally on my list. I like to give those to the kids early so maybe they'll actually wear them. And then in their Easter baskets, I'm always torn because I don't want it to be like a mini Christmas and have like tons of gifts. That's just my thing. Christy, I totally agree, but I'm going to have like, yeah, I don't know how to make that as funny as I think it is in my head. Anyway, Christy suggested that we put Hug the Sunlight on a shirt, and it just makes me laugh. Okay, so let's talk about baskets. If you do Easter baskets, do you put just loads of candy in there? Do you put like healthy things in there? Or do you put toys? Because my husband and I go back and forth every year, and we don't want a ton of junk food because then they become little monsters. And we don't want to, and then we want an Easter egg hunt, but we don't hunt for real eggs because we would never find them all and then my yard would smell. I saw that episode of Gilmore Girls. I'm not doing it. And so, anyway, I'm looking for ideas. I try and do one gift or maybe a shirt. And then, maybe some candy or something, or coloring books, or an activity. I don't know, bubble wands. I try not to go for the super junky gifts because then I find them in my sewing room or in the dining room or etc. Speaking of which, I spent all of yesterday, I did not open my computer until I was falling into bed last night because I was trying to clean the twins' room. And if I showed you a before picture, you might not talk to me anymore because it was really, really bad. And I got just to that point with organizing where it's worse than when you started. Ask me if I'm going back in there today. I can't do it. I really want to. I really want it to be done. And I really want their room to make sense. And I want them to want to play in it. It's just so much work. And so then the baby fell asleep. And so I was trying to not make a lot of noise or whatever. And she's not really a baby, but whatever. And so I started on our little schoolroom / art room / junk room / computer room, otherwise known as the formal dining room. And again, you can't even walk in there now because I pulled everything out and I'm moving furniture and yeah. Now the computer's not even hooked up. So anyways, keep moving right along. So this week, as I mentioned before, I got a pattern into testing. It's for some high-rise swim bottoms, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples. Yes, that was lime, neon, green, whatever you want to call it. I had a bathing suit. I'm going to try and show you just part of it. I had an X Factor bra out of this fabric. Well, this is really hard to match because, while that looks like royal blue, it wasn't quite as easy as royal blue. And so I had this lime green that I'm positive I bought for my 10-year-old. That's, funny. It switched over to the back. And I put it on and at least my kids will be able to find me at the beach, right? I feel like if I'm wearing black, then they're going to run up to every woman in a black bathing suit. Oh my gosh. I think Jessica Perez might be my spirit animal. Okay. So this is one of the options on the Alice high-rise bikini or swim bottoms. Of course, it looks different because it's not on me, right? So it has a cute little tie front that we're going with. Really, let me pull it this way. Yeah, it's going to be super cute. And so, as you know, here it's 5 out of 4. We sell our bathing suits, pieces separately so that you can mix and match. As I mentioned, I was wearing this with a X Factor. And then this, I just did that swim tour for Raspberry Creek Fabrics, and I had some left over because I did a bikini. And so I made the new Alice swim bottoms. This has changed a little bit from what's currently in testing. The flounce is going to be about an inch longer and a lot more flouncy because what I realized is when I put these on, there's no flounce there. So that was a challenge in drafting. But now I have to decide if I'm going to take it all out or I'm going to put on a movie. And of course I don't have enough orange to recut, so I have to order more fabric. So I wanted to bring something up because we had a lot of women in the tester pool who were like, oh, I really love that, but I'm not comfortable showing my tush to the world. I get you. No judging. But I can't come out with patterns if I don't have people to test them. So, yeah. I can tell you that the size small fits, but I can't tell you that all the other sizes fit. And so when I was pregnant with Stella, I made these, and they have this cute little tie. And then I was drafting the other day, and this would be low cut, and it's a lot smaller, right? I mean, these are both the same. Actually, the smaller ones. Oops, sorry, I'm holding these up. Yeah, so you can imagine what is covered and what is not covered here, right? And technically, the blue pair in the front is a size medium, and the back pair is a size small. So, here's my dilemma. I have that pair, and then I have one that's just strings that I'm sure people would love, right? But I have to be able to find enough women people to test them. I have to find enough people. Like, that's it. Because if I want to offer these inclusive sizes, I need you. I need you to help me. Because I want you to feel comfortable in whatever you want to wear. I mean, I don't care what you wear. But yeah, it's one of those like double-edged swords, right? Like, I want to provide it, but I have to have help to provide it. Anyway, so moving right along. One thing I said yesterday in the tester pool, I think, or in the testing group, is somebody was saying they couldn't find their swim lining. I'm going to tell you a secret. I never use swim lining. Never, never, never. I don't even own any. I have some power in it, but I wouldn't put that against my skin either. So I think I'm very sensitive. And so I don't like swim lining. It's, if you don't buy quality swim lining, not from Joann's, it's itchy to me. And so, and it's thin and I just don't get it. And so what I do is I buy white or black nylon lycra. Usually it's cheaper than, you know, the fun stuff, but I make sure it's medium weight. I'm telling you guys, not super thin, because that's not fun to sew with. But yeah, I get the medium weight, white or black. I have a guess for where this came from, but it was like more than a year ago. And I line all of my swimsuits with it. And for like bras and tankinis, I only line the bra portion. Front and back. If you're using PowerNet, one thing that's really important, I noticed at the Key West, you can't just line the front, because then the back is working so hard to make up for the lack of stretch on the PowerNet on the front. You actually have to line the back too. Here's my 2 cents. But with swim bottoms, I don't have them down here because I wore them all last year. You can line the front of your swim bottoms if you want to like hold any pooches in. Ask me how I know. So there you go. There's my 2 cents. I don't use swim lining. I'm a rebel. Moving right along. The Alice High Rise, that's what it's called, the Alice. I wanted to name a daughter Alice, but it didn't sound good with Pierce. We had a thing with anyway, I have issues. It's probably not going to release right after Easter, and that's twofold. One is because it's Easter, and I'll be out of town. And the other is I'm working on a tankini. And so part of my design process, I'm just sharing, is that I have to make it, unfortunately, which means I go through a lot of fabric. Not as much fabric that's actually in my sewing room, if you catch my drift. That's part of what's wrong right now. But I go through a lot of fabric, and my mom will love this because she just dropped off this fabric the other day, trying to come up with the design that I want. And so I saw like one of those random ads on Facebook. If you search for anything, then the ads show up on Facebook. And this was for, I think I probably searched for bathing suit ideas, because I do love designing bathing suits. And so this one has a knot, and you can see it's just an inverse V cut out of the front here. And it's not tied. Hold on, let me tie it so it looks a little prettier. One thing I did is I don't use a lot of solid colors because I'm a color-friendly person, and I love, I made a neon green bathing suit, right? So I love, different, the word is escaping me, but like florals, prints. I love different prints. So down here, I lined the bow, which makes it thicker and stand out more. And there's pros and cons, right? Like, it's just frustrating. Anyway, oh, that's the one I forgot. Hold on, let me grab one more. This one doesn't even have the bra in it because after that first one, so I got this idea from a Facebook ad, but this wasn't like an connected anywhere but right here. So it was just like an add-on, like a hair bow that you put after you had the rubber band in, you know? And so, it didn't bring my heart joy. And as much as it is about serving you, I also like to bring my own heart joy. It's what keeps me going. All right, so let me tie this bow so I can show you this one. I'm just sharing now because I think that, like, seeing that, I don't know, the process is interesting. I think that maybe not. It's interesting to me. And I like to share. So this one is not finished. Like you can see that I actually sewed one of the seams backward, like it's twisted right there. Yeah, quality. But this one I gave a center front seam, and then that helped me, I'm going to throw this up here, include ties. And so you can see that this is a solid, so the back is the same color as the front, and the tie's super cute. And what this meant is like I could roll it through and tie a bow, I could tie it to the back, and I had all these options which were great, except it only worked with the solid. So the minute you move to a print, well, so this is a beautiful print from Z&Q Fabric. It's one of my favorites, honestly. I think isn't that gorgeous? It's just gorgeous. But as you can see, it's white on the back. And so with this design, my options, like this is a super thin fabric it doesn't have white on the back. And so you would have to take this front, and you can see where like my machine tried to eat it. It was really frustrating to sew because it's so lightweight. And you'd have to turn and top stitch all the way around. I own a nice cover stitch machine. I know that some people would be able to do this fine. It's a lot of ground to cover, but it makes the bow like super cute and fluffy, like a floppy-eared bunny. I'm making it Easter themed. So version 3, one of these will see the light of day. Oh shoot. I'll tie the bow again. I don't know why it came untied. That totally reeks of my children playing in my sewing room. I lined the bow. I made it part of the bottom of the swimsuit. You can see the seam right here, which was a little tricky. I'm going to try and zoom in. I had to clip center front and add a seam to add the seam allowance, so people will complain that that's left undone. But then people, I'm not being rude. I don't love that it's left undone either, but it's not noticeable when it's on. Like here, you can see it because it's hanging out, but when it's on, it's stretched around your body, you know? And so you can see that this bow, this is very challenging. I need an assistant, but nobody's here. Versus this bow. One of these things is not like the other, right? So floppy, stiff. So I can make this one longer, and I just go back and forth because I like this idea of the bow, although I don't want bow with bow, but like I like the idea, and I like I mentioned before, you could tie it behind you can tie it through the front, all these different options. There's all these different options, but I'm really torn on this, and so I'm still kind of sitting on this pattern, and I want to release the swim bottoms at the same time that I release the swim top. So eventually I'll make a decision. It'll make about 30% of you happy because the other 60% will like one of the other two versions. But I'm still letting it marinate. One person, Miriam, suggested almost having the bow sit from the side seams much like the swim bottom one does. See how it's not attached to the front at all. It's just at the side seams. And I like that, but then you'll have like this extra fabric in the front sort of bunching up, and I agree that this one it lays nicer, but this is not an easy fabric to sew with. And that is really important to me, both to provide me joy when I'm sewing, but also as a service to you. Like, whew. And then this isn't lined. I mean, the bottom doesn't need to be lined, but I'll have a bra at the top. And then you have to like worry about your serger cones matching your fabric. And anyways, I'm torn. All right, moving right along. So we picked a winner from our spring dress tour. I thought that was awesome. So a big special shout out to Sly Fox Fabrics and to Laura for mostly running all of that. I think I posted one day, maybe twice. That's not my strong suit, but so thank you. Thank you, Laura. But we picked a winner. It was Jess, and for some reason I wrote down M because I didn't remember how to spell her last name, and then I forgot to look it up, so that's not my best moment. But we had over 800 entries. That was really exciting for me. And then for the women's Layla, that is finishing up testing this week, and it looks awesome. Awesome. I'm going to actually ask Rochelle to share a little sneak peek. It's not going to release for a while, but I'm pretty excited about it. And as you know, we had the girls' Layla that was part of the SoFab bundle. Well, the bundle ended on the 15th. So now I'm going to tell you that we actually have it. We're going to have it back on the website on the 30th. And so we are really excited about this because we think that the pair of them are super gorgeous. It's like the perfect party dress. It's fancy. If you have a wedding to go to, what is? I love it. All right. So last but not least, I think that's everything so far. I'm going to get out the cones of elastic. Make it shorter and just tie a knot. Well, it's kind of, oh, not a bow. I gotcha. Yeah, I'll try that too. All right, so I buy my elastic in bulk from different places. Frankly, I love Amazon. Amazon's not the cheapest. So sometimes I have to wait more than 2 days. So the reason I'm showing you my cones of elastic is because we get a ton of questions about swim elastic. I do not swim professionally, nor do I even swim a lot. I don't really like swimming. Anyway, we get a ton of questions about this. Unless you are training for a swimming race or you swim every day for miles and miles, or I don't know, you're like a swimmer, right? Don't stress about swim elastic. I said it out loud. This is 3/8, and it actually is braided cotton swimwear elastic by Stretch Right. It has a little, like a natural color, tan, if you will. I think that it stretches slightly different. My sewing room is a disaster because I moved all the furniture around and I haven't finished it. Apparently I like to blow up the room and then not the, not actually follow through and finish cleaning it, Oh, that's an idea. So Pam Eden just had the idea. I'm sorry, I'm going to back up. She says, oh, wait, I think I can. No, I can't. Boo. She says, I love the floppy bow, not so much the more rigid one. What about a contrasting solid color bow on a print suit? Why don't these things occur to me? I will try that. That's thought-provoking. That's like a combination of all three, right? I will try this because, like, what was great about this is the bow was actually like all part of the front panel since it had that center panel. So I didn't have a seam coming down. You can't see anything. I know you can't see anything. It's frustrating me too. So there's no seam right here where my finger is like there is in the third version. The only seam is down the center front. Whereas the third version doesn't have a center front seam. I'm going to try it. Thanks, Pam. I'll post it in the group when I finish it. It probably won't have like the elastic and the arms and everything, but I'm intrigued. I think that could work because I think enough people buy solids that that might work. All right, awesome. Moving right along. Okay, so swimwear elastic, not necessary. I've already said that. I happen to have it. I asked Laura. Laura and I are going to do an experiment. We're going to sew up a swim bottom using both regular braided polyester elastic and then swimwear elastic. Same size, hopefully same brand. That would be kind of fun. And see if they stretch differently. I remember seeing one thing a while ago that said that swimwear elastic like stretched differently and it was really important. Okay, that probably is why I bought this, frankly. I don't know. I just use it because I have a lot, 100 yards. I've had it for a while, too. So these are all stretched right, actually. In the arms of kids' suits, a lot of times I'll use 1/4 inch elastic. For women, I still use 3/8. It's whatever I design it for, right? But anyways, for kids, they're smaller, so I use 1/4. And this is not swimwear elastic. It's just white braided polyester elastic. If you take apart a bathing suit from Athleta or somewhere, you'll see that in the waist they actually have like rubber. I don't have it here with me. I did take one apart. It's just, I don't buy that either. I just use the regular 3/8. For under bust elastic, one thing that's really important, you can't tell, but I'm actually like pinching this down, and this is non-roll. I'm looking around for my elastic bin, which is ridiculous, right? Oh. Because I have an example of waistband elastic that is like super soft, and so when you buy you can crush it. But of course I can't find it right now. That's fantastic. Oh. Okay, well this is actually plush elastic. If you I use this on the Escapade because you sew it and then you sew it and you turn it to the inside, and so it's soft against your skin. This is not what's used in the majority of our swimwear, sports bras and whatnot. But you can see how much more easily it is to crush. So if you're doing an underbust elastic where it's wrapped in the fabric and it's sewn to the bottom of the sports bra, you do not want something that's easy to crush. I crush you. So this is woven polyester flat non-roll elastic, 3/4 inch by 75 yards. I was cheated. I can't. It's much harder to crush. I love buying it in bulk because I always have some, and I go through a lot of it, especially when I'm testing new patterns, right? I'm sure that if I actually ever do finish organizing this space, that I have a lot of pieces of swimwear all over the place. So that's my 2 cents for today. I now have a new idea to try on the women's tankini. Hopefully I'll get that into testing right after Easter. Hopefully I don't have to wait another whole week. But a lot of it just depends on how life goes. This week we have a lot going on, and if I keep exercising, I'll probably keep sleeping. All right, as always, thanks for joining us. If you could take a minute and subscribe on YouTube, you get a little reminder to make sure that you know that we're online. It also helps YouTube know that we're super cool and people want to watch us. We also have Instagram. I occasionally am on Twitter, but not very often because I find myself not that pithy. But anyway, we're there. We would love to see you, and everywhere and anywhere that you are, we want to be. I mean, that sounds creepy. No, not so much. Everywhere that we are, we want you to be. Does that sound better? All right, have a good day. Talk to you guys later.